What I'm going to do on this project is I'm going to make a cover for this opening on the dash. This is the vent opening. There's one on each end of the dash plus one in the middle for dual vents. So the reason I'm doing that is this would be like where the air conditioning would blow out, or if you just turned on like the outside fresh air that would blow out. But since my car is pretty much just a street and strip car now, I don't have the AC and I don't really worried about the fresh air part. I've decided to make the covers for the vents, because what I'm also doing while the dash is out of the car is I'm spraying the dash black. So instead of going through all the trouble of completely disassembling the stock vent so I can paint every little piece black and put it back together, I decided to get some ABS plastic from the local stereo place. So this stuff is about an 1/8 inch thick, and it has a grain on the front of it that closely matches the grain of the dash. So that's why I decided to go with this. And what I will do is I will cut a piece of ABS plastic which closely matches this template that I made out of aluminum. And then I guess what you can do with the ABS plastic, what they told me at the stereo shop, is I can lay it face down on here, because this is a part that you're going to see. So I want to lay it with the grain face down, take a heat gun and apply some heat to it, and that should soften it enough that it will form to this piece. And then once it cools off, I can go ahead and finish trimming it and I could take the black ABS plastic and set it in there like that. And then when I paint the dash black, everything should all blend in. So like I said, I just didn't feel like taking these vents all apart and dealing with that. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm making one for each end. I've never worked with this material before. This is something new. So it's a little bit of trial and error for me, but I think it should go okay. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I got my piece ready to make my first cut. And what they told me at the car stereo place was the way you want to cut this is to score it with a razor blade and then go ahead and snap it, and it'll give you a nice clean break. So I measured my piece here, and I actually am going to cut this slightly oversized. And then what I'll do is I'll take like a dolly, block sanding dolly, and use that to do my final shape and fit it in here. And what I'm trying to achieve is a little bit of an interference fit to help hold it in place. And then I'm also going to use some like weather stripping adhesive to help glue it in. So, and I think it'll be fine, and it'll stay in there just fine that way. So that's what I'm going to do, is the score and snap method that they recommended at this car stereo place. He didn't really say how many times to score it, so I'm just gonna go over it a couple times for good measure, and then we'll try snapping it and see how that goes. All right, let's try a little bit more. I don't want to get too crazy. This stuff is pretty thick. It's like an 1/8 inch thick, so. See how that goes. Oh yeah. All right. Oh yeah, that gives me a nice clean edge. Real nice edge. I don't know if you can see that. But it's a smooth edge. It'll just take a little bit of work with the sandpaper, and that should clean up real nice. You're not going to see that anyways, but anyways. Yep, just slightly over, just the way I want it. Oh yeah. Yep. Another nice clean line. So cool. That'll make sanding it a lot simpler. Okay, so you can see here, I went a little oversize on it. And that, like I said, that'll just allow me the ability to kind of shape it down to the exact size that I'm trying to get. So let's go ahead and put some heat to this. Let me get out my heat gun and we'll put some heat to it and see how it works. Okay, so what I did is I just took my aluminum piece and I'm just putting my vise here. I have my my piece that I'm going to use, and remember to lay it the grain face down, because I guess the heat, if you did it the other way, could distort the look of the grain. So I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna put some heat to it. I'm just gonna kind of go slow and easy, and we'll see what happens. Cold in my garage. It's about 36 degrees right now, so this stuff is a little on the thick side. It's like 1/8 inch thick, so I don't know how long it's going to take to soften it up. It looks like it's actually kind of bowing up in the middle around here. I don't know. Not sure what's up with that. Yeah, you can even see it right here. It's getting a bow in it. I don't know, maybe I can get something and try pushing it down. Let's try that. Let me get a piece of something, see if I can kind of form it to fit. Still pretty stiff. We'll keep going, see what happens. I'm not sure. It looks like it might be maybe starting to soften up. I can kind of smell the plastic. It gives, you know, that plastic has that smell. So I don't know. Let me try putting a little more shape in it. There we go. Give it a little more heat. It looks real close on this end. This end here has a little ways to go, like right in this area right here. And you can see the back side of this is real smooth, but you can see it's getting kind of an orange peely look in some places from the plastic kind of getting heated and distorting a little bit. But I think we'll be all right. It went pretty well. I think it just needed a little help. I think it was too thick to actually kind of droop on its own. But with the heat and using that piece of tubing, that rolling it out helped a lot. So. Okay, the plastic cools off pretty quick on its own. I hit it with a little compressed air for good measure, but really, I don't think you need to do that. But I'm pleased with how the first one turned out. The shape is good on it. Let's see here. You know, it's not a bad match for that, and you know, it's plastic, so you can kind of, you know, tweak it a little bit too as you're putting it in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm pleased with how the first one came out. So I will do some shaping and see how my final fit is on it. But I think it's going to go good. Okay, so I was working on my final fitment on my piece, and all I used was, I have a disc sander that did a real nice job of taking the excess material off, and I was able to sneak up on my final size. And then once I got it real close, I just used this, which is a piece of 80 grit sandpaper, peel and stick, on like a really heavy, thick stir stick I got from probably Lowe's or something. But it just gives you a nice straight edge to work off of. So once I got it in the ballpark with the disc sander, then I just finished, finalized the shape and the fitment with that. So, and it fits in here real nice. It didn't take long to do it either. Final fitment just took a couple minutes. So that disc sander is a lifesaver. So let me move the camera over here, and you can see how well this fits. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, this came out really nice. The fitment is real good on it. I just have a slight gap on each side. So what I will do is I'll take it out, and I will run a bead of black weather strip adhesive around the edge, and then I think once I go ahead and put that back in, and I'll tape it in place while it dries. I think some of that adhesive will kind of squish out a little bit, and we'll close up that gap, so you won't even really notice it. So, but I really could not be any happier with how this turned out. It was exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, and the grain on this piece matches the dash really close, so I'm happy about that. So I still have to do the one on the driver's side. And nice thing about these two is like on the driver's side, you could use it as a mounting plate for some switches or a gauge or something like that. So it could be pretty handy for a multitude of different applications. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This was the way to go. And I am going to start on the driver's side and get that one banged out real quick, and everything will be good. Okay, I got my pieces made up, and I glued them in last night. I ended up misplacing my weather strip adhesive, so I happen to have some of this. It's called window weld. It's urethane like caulk for setting, you know, like your windshield in your car and stuff like that. So I use that, and I just put some around the perimeter of the back side of these pieces, and then I set them down in there, and then you can see I just kind of taped them to hold them in place while they set up. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape, and the stuff's dry, so we should be all set as far as that goes. I think this urethane material is going to have these pieces in there, and they're not coming out, so that stuff sets up pretty strong. Yeah, that's in there pretty good. One thing I did do is for each one of these, since they kind of set down inside there, is I took a couple scrap pieces of this material, just kind of taped it on there, so when I ran my tape around, it would help to push that down in there. So that worked out really good, doing it that way. Okay, yeah, all right. So those are definitely set in place. Now I can finish, I can strip these couple items off the dash, and then I can go ahead and get ready to go ahead and paint it black and start working towards putting it back in the car. So yeah, I'm real happy with how this project's turning out. Okay, this project's done. I'm really happy with how it came out. The covers have a real nice factory look to them. Now that the dash has been painted black, everything blends in real nice. It was a simple project. It came out great. I couldn't be any happier with how it turned out. It was something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so I'm glad to get it checked off the list. Right now what I'm doing is I'm mocking up the dash because I'm also taking this opportunity to rewire the car while it's all apart. So I'm going to go ahead and get as much of the dash wired as I can before I actually put it in the car. So that's what I'm doing now is I'm starting on the wiring and starting to lay it out in that. But again, I couldn't be happier with how this came out. It was a simple project. It's going to make a huge improvement on the looks on the interior of the car. And I'm really glad I was finally able to get it done. So that's it. It's another project marked off the list.